Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing two very easy fall projects. The first one is this pair of pumpkins I used from Dollar Tree, a couple of pieces of fat quarters of fabric from Walmart, some white craft paint, and a pair of scissors. So I painted my pumpkins first with the craft paint. I only used one coat, was fine. And then I cut my fabric into strips, and these strips are 2 by 8, but if I do this project again, which I definitely will, I'd only cut them about probably 1.5 inches by 8. It was a little too wide, and I had to do a little extra shaping with the fabric to make them fit around the pumpkins well, but it was still an easy project. And I just used hot glue to glue them on and go around and cover the whole pumpkin. Once I was finished, I did put a square piece of fabric over the bottom just to make it look a little neater. Not that you'd even see it, but it just neatened it up for me. I like it neat. And there they are, once they're covered. To make the stems, I used the stems that came on the pumpkins. I just painted them black, and then I took a couple of leaves off other florals I had and I painted those black. And I just glued those down in place. Now to make the sticks sticking out of the top, again, I took old florals I had and I cut pieces, little sticks off, and I glued them all together, and I had painted them black, and I stuck them right into the top of the stems that came on these pumpkins, and then I glued them into place. I wanted the stems to be a little taller, and the ones that come on these pumpkins just weren't tall enough. And there I just used some glue just to kind of hold them in. And then I had old pieces of lace, and I just cut the piece I had in half, and I wrapped it around the original stem around the bottom just to kind of cover it up a little bit. And I just wrapped it until I thought it looked nice, and then I ended up gluing it in place. My daughter loves cats, so I did a couple little cat pumpkins. And when you see this fabric up close, you'll see it's just cute little cat faces. And I did have to mess around with this fabric a little to get it just how I wanted it. They're Halloween, but definitely not scary Halloween. And then I made these wreath forms to go around my window on my front door. I don't have a lot of light that comes in, and I really wanted to make a wreath. So I had these old forms from years and years ago in my stash. I have no idea how long ago I got them. It had to be more than 10 years ago. I had some Dollar Tree florals that I had picked up, and I decided to use those to frame my window so I wouldn't block the light coming in. And I made them matching, and I placed all the flowers on where I wanted them to be on the wreath first. I was going to just stick them in so I didn't have to glue them, but the weaving was so tight on these I just couldn't do it, so I ended up hot gluing them on, which is fine. And I mirrored them as best I could. I didn't make them too fancy, I just wanted just little bursts of autumn colors on either side of the window on my door. And they're just, see these pretty bursts of color. They cost just what I paid for the picks for each floral pick, which were $1 a piece. I had the glue and I had the forms, and it works out perfect. It's just what I needed. It just didn't cover my window, it didn't block my light, but I have my wreath.